After trying all your means to bring down someone and you realize it's to no avail, why don't you just give up? Like, I don't get it. When you're trying, you want to kill someone, you want to bring down someone, and it's not working. Why don't you just give up? They said if you can't beat them, just join them. Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Movies. I'm Lydia and I'm your host for today. As I said earlier, I came across this movie and I watched the first episode and this is the second one and I like it. So I'm reviewing the second episode and some expectations for the third episode. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more videos and more updates. So in this second episode, we see the great goddess crying. Like initially she was upset. She wanted to do her worst because she wanted to avenge the death that someone has done to, like, someone has caused pain to her, so she wanted to avenge it. She was so upset. She went to the chief house. She wanted to express her pain and all that, a lot of complaints, and she wanted to summon the repented Abejoye, and we're like, no, even they were like, a lot of people are trying to do it and it's not possible. Why don't you just accept what fate has given you? No, she's not going to accept. In my previous episode, I made a prediction that now that she's stuck in the room, the only option is to apologize and leave. Yes, because Abejoye was like, I didn't bring you here, you came here by yourselves. If you want to leave, just leave by yourself. Eventually, she was able to gather courage and then she did her incantations and then went to Abejoye's house, his room. And then she was seeing a lot of things. That's how it is. She was like, you feel you have the power to overcome something, especially if you haven't tried it before. And then when you try it and you realize that you are just like a minute thing in front of them, then you just be shocked by what you go through. So when she went to say a lot of incantations and she's I want you to be naked before I bring you down, like ordering Abejoye. Despite the fact that Abejoye was bad in like some time ago, he was living a very awful life. He was wicked, he was killing people and all that. Right now, he has turned into a new leaf. He has accepted Christ. He has taken the Lord as his personal savior. So there's nothing that can bring him down. So if you want to use an approach to bring him down, use a different approach. If you can't beat them, just join them. So when she got to the room and then she was doing her incantations and then Abejoye was just staring at her. She finished everything. Why are you still sitting down? Didn't I say you should be naked? And now the funny part was when she stamped her feet on the ground 3 times, expecting to vanish from the room, nothing happened. She did a second time, nothing happened. The third time, nothing happened. And now she began pleading. Please, I beg, I want to go back. Please, I beg, I want to go back. She began pleading. Please, I beg, I want to go back. Please, I beg, I want to go back. And it was so funny. And the response I was getting from Abejoye was like, how do you expect me to help you go back? You came on your own, so why do you want me to help you go back? If you knew you wouldn't be able to go back, why did you come here in the first place? So she was afraid because, according to her belief, if she stays outside until the first cock crows, that is she getting closer, in fact, the closest to her death. So she was just scared. Then there was a cock crow. After that, there was another one, but she was still alive. She didn't have faith that she could be saved because she knows how wicked she has lived her life and all that. But eventually, she was saved. So that is how Abejoye is distributing his evangelism, because he left America to Nigeria to evangelize. And now, if he has been able to bring down the biggest enemy in the community, then the rest of them will be as easy as anything. So now, another scene that got me excited was not excited per se. Another scene was that got me scared. Like I was a bit anxious. I wanted to know what will happen next. When one of the American wizards, they went to visit Abejoye's son. They're saying that if they can't get to Abejoye, they can get to his son. If they can't get to his son, they can get to his granddaughter. And that mentality. But not knowing that if Abejoye is praying for his family, his prayers will cover his whole. If he's praying for himself, his prayers will cover his whole family. That's one thing they didn't have in mind. So when he got there, he greeted as normal, like a normal visiting and all that. And then later was like, "Where's your dad?" And then she said her dad is in the room. Sometimes we should make our children aware of the circumstances that's going on. Yeah. Because if sometimes we'll be like, "Oh, they are young, they are not supposed, they won't understand," and like give some excuses. But if the child knew that this is what is going on, if the child knew that these are not family friends, she wouldn't have even welcomed him in the house in the first place. So if you are going through anything, let your children know the people who they are not supposed to associate with. If it wasn't that the prayers that her father and her grandfather and her mom were praying was strong, she would have been affected, and it wouldn't be her fault because she has no idea. So my advice is, when you are going through anything, when you see someone as an enemy, let your children know, let them be aware so they don't associate themselves with them, because it'll be easy for the enemy to get to you passing through your child or your word. Yeah, so that is a bit of advice. But what saved her was her parents' prayers were strong. Her dad, her mom, her grandfather, their prayers were very strong, so nothing happened to them. The part that they said there's a saying that when you do something bad, you be affected first. Like in my language, it is said in a different way, but there's a translation. When you do something bad, you get the effects first. So he tried the ring with a handshake, and he was being blasphemed that the ring doesn't work, and decides to use it on his friend. Now he wanted to be sure. Okay, I used this on Abejoye, it didn't work. I used it on my colleague, it worked. Now let me be sure. Now it's a 50-50 balance. Let me be sure if this ring will work. Now he used it on Abejoye's granddaughter, it didn't work. Wow. Finally, his other colleague decides to wear it, and now the ring is stuck. So won't it click that there's something special about Abejoye? There's something extraordinary about that family, that all what they are planning against them is not going on well. Like this really happens. When we decide to plan negatively, all our senses are blocked. That's how I see it. That's the moral lesson I see in this movie. When like you are with someone and your friend or something, and you decide to plan against that person negatively, all your senses get blocked. The only thing that works is your ability to see, to see with what your eyes can see, but you don't reason. You are doing this, it's not working. You don't get the sense that you should stop or you should use another approach. Do you get it? So that planning against someone, you are blocking your own senses, and you are not careful. If you are not careful, or if you are not extra careful, what you planned against the person minds bounce back to you. Right now, they don't know what to do. They are meeting members, like one has died, the ring is stuck on his hand, and if the ring is stuck on his hand, it means he's going to die. You get it? So the group is I don't know if I'm saying, it's just collapsing. The group is collapsing. Their meeting is just collapsing. Yeah. And after the movie, in the next, you see, sometimes when they are done showing it, they tell us the up next. Before I go to the up next, right now, another man wants to avenge the death of his father. So his father was burnt whilst he was in his sleep. So he wants to avenge the killer of his father. Yes. He has gone to seek more powers because he wants to bring down Abejoye. Shouldn't you be surprised that the main killer of the community, a woman, has changed from her ways, has accepted Christ? Even if you won't accept Christ, just change from your evil ways. But he decides to go the extra mile and go and avenge his father's death. His father being burnt in his sleep. He wants to also go and burn Abejoye. I'm sorry I don't know the names. The names are somehow difficult for me. I'm now catching up with the names. One thing I like about this movie is they depict their language. Like let me say 80% of the dialogue is in a Nigerian accent, so you have to read the captions, the closed captions, else you won't understand. And sometimes they omit some of the captions, and then you have to figure and do some addition, like do some joining before you get the whole part. And so I like the fact that they are bringing their language out there. I don't know which particular language it is. If you know, please let me know in the comments below. They are bringing their own language out there, and they are mixing it with English. Yeah. So that is it. And let me make some few expectations. Apart from the up next, in the next episode, I also think that Abejoye is going to bring another person into Christ. He's making his steps one step at a time. He has been able to change the woman, and then has converted her ways to Christ, like she has diverted to Christ. I also think that there will be more diversions, like a lot of people will be changing, and eventually it's going to change his whole community. And if you decide to block him, that is your own loss, because he's equipped, he's filled with the Holy Spirit. So that is your own loss. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on Abejoye season 4 episode 2. So let's get ready for the next episode. That will be next week. I don't know how fast it will come, but let's get ready for the next episode. That will be next week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. And let's wish the wicked all the best in what they are planning against Abejoye. Yeah, let's wish them all the best. We know it will end in tears, but let's just give them some hopes here. So, thank you so much for watching my review. Till next time, bye.